Nostalgia hits different when you realize the monsters were never the scariest part. You know, everyone remembers season one of Stranger Things for the bikes, the walkie talkies, and that perfect hit of 80s nostalgia. But rewatching it now, what hit me wasn't the monsters, it was the guilt. The kind that creeps in when you're just trying to keep everything together. The mom guilt, the sibling guilt, the friend guilt, even the survivor guilt. It's like Hawkins is haunted, not just by the upside down, but by everything left unsaid. Joyce Byers broke me this time. She's working nights, holding on to her job, keeping the lights on, literally, and still somehow it's her fault. Will goes missing, and immediately the story becomes, where was she? That hit a nerve because that's the invisible contract of motherhood, right? You can do everything humanly possible and still feel like you weren't there enough. I've been there. That voice in your head whispering, you should have known, you should have seen, you should have done something, should have done more. Maybe Joyce isn't crazy. Maybe she's every mom trying to connect with the parts of herself she lost while holding everyone else together. Then there's Jonathan, the classic responsible one. I resonate with his character a lot. He's supposed to watch his little brother, but he's out taking photos and chasing dreams instead. That guilt is so familiar. The kind of guilt that only the good kid feels. You spend your whole life being dependable, and then the one time you choose yourself, everything falls apart. That's heavy. And it's so Gen X, right? Raised to be self sufficient, but still carry the emotional labor for everyone else. Oh, man. And Nancy. And poor Barb. Nancy tells Barb she'll be fine, that she doesn't need her, and then she never comes back. Tell me, that doesn't echo every time we've brushed something off, someone off, thinking we had more time. Barb's disappearance is less about horror and more about regret. That quiet, if I just stayed a little longer kind of pain. And in a weird way, it mirrors how adulthood sneaks up on you. One minute you're just having fun, and the next you're responsible for the fallout. And Hopper. Hopper is the embodiment of adult guilt. He's numbed out, detached, clocking in, clocking out, until this case cracks him open. You can feel the ghost of his daughter in every scene. He's living proof that guilt doesn't go away, it just gets quieter until something forces you to face it. That's midlife in a nutshell. You think you've buried it, but one song, one smell, one rewatch, and suddenly you're stringing up metaphorical Christmas lights, trying to reconnect with who you were. So here's my sip and spill. I realized that nostalgia is never just about missing the past. It's about forgiving yourself for the years that you can't get back. Stranger Things season one made me think about all the little things that I still carry guilt for. The missed bedtime stories, the time I chose work, the friends I let drift. But maybe guilt isn't proof that we failed. Maybe it's proof that we still care. So, yeah, maybe the upside down is just the place where all of our unresolved feelings live. And every now and then, something breaks through to remind us we're still human, showing us the parts of ourselves we still haven't forgiven. Because sometimes the monsters are scary, but the hair is scarier. But now, let's swing the pendulum all the way back to the fun stuff: the neon, the hair, the phones, the way Hawkins looks like it's permanently stuck in a Polaroid, and that first moment when Eleven steps into the living room wearing Mike's oversized shirt, and you think, oh my God, this is E.T. all over again. That's the thing. Season one didn't just set the 80s, it romanticized the parts that we actually want back. Do you remember how long it took to call someone in the 80s? That spiral cord wrapped around every kitchen chair, the phone that lived on the wall, and when it rang, everyone in the house yelled, "Got it!" Watching Stranger Things, those phones feel like supporting characters. The sound alone makes me nostalgic for a time when you couldn't ghost anyone. You just weren't home. It's funny. Now we panic if someone doesn't text us back in 5 minutes. 5 seconds. Back then, if your friend didn't answer, you just rode your bike over to their house and knocked on the door. Speaking of bikes, that bike riding, flashlight through the woods sequence, straight out of ET. And it hits this part of your brain that remembers adventure feeling possible. There's something beautiful about the fact that these kids believe they can actually fix things, that friendship and a plan are enough. No GPS, no Google, just courage and bad flashlights. I think that that's what a lot of us miss, being in motion instead of in constant contact. Now, the hair. The Farrah Fawcett needs feathered mullet situation that somehow everyone thought was attractive. And Nancy Wheeler's bags deserve their own Emmy. Everything was just more mouth, more mousse, more plaid, more denim. Even the monsters had better volume. And I love that Stranger Things didn't make fun of it. They treated 80s fashion like folklore. It's ridiculous and reverent at the same time. Watching those chunky TVs and flickering lamps made me realize we used to gather around one screen. Now we all watch different things in different rooms on different devices. In Hawkins, when something weird happened, everyone ended up in the same living room, arguing, coding, panicking together. Maybe that's why nostalgia hits so hard. It's not just about the objects, it's about togetherness. We miss the feeling of being connected without Wi Fi. So here's my sip and spill. I actually don't want to go back to the 80s. I just want pieces of it back. The patience of waiting for something, the creativity that came from boredom, the kind of friendships that were built on showing up. Rewatching season one reminded me that nostalgia isn't just about the past. It's about what's missing from right now. So maybe the upside down isn't a monster world at all. Maybe it's every version of us we've buried under guilt and noise and adulthood. And maybe the real story of Stranger Things isn't about fighting the monster. It's about finally turning on the lights. So yeah, the hair was big, the phones were loud, and the kids saved the world with nothing but walkie-talkies and heart. So next up, season two, when the 80s got darker, the monsters got bigger, and the nostalgia got a little bit more dangerous.